just that little bit of a flat water. Once you've found that flat water and slightly calmer, then that's going to be the time when you're going to have to post the best lap possible. And if you're wondering where my co-commentator is, he's at the moment, we are just trying to work out why all of a sudden his microphone has decided to die on us. So bear with us while we just go through technical, plugged it in. I think it's almost a question of Control-Alt-Delete to try and get his microphone working again. Otherwise you're going to have me, Chris Davies, chatting away to you for the next 45 minutes. As you can see, they're all now safely out on the course. So it won't be long before they start the timekeeping, and we'll find out just how things are going to pan out for the race 1, which is an hour after qualifying finishes today. And we're just keeping an eye on when the officials are going to say timing commences. Following Nilda around. Just getting used to that boat. As I said earlier, missed the round 1 and round 2 of the championship due to exams clashing with the timetable, but she's out to play catch-up this weekend. We're underway. As you can tell, all of a sudden, everything's sped up. Hilmer, who's put in the fastest lap so far, followed by Lucas Boyard. Lucas Boyard, French competitor, well known for racing in the Rouen 24-hour race when it was still going. "52 minutes left in this session." Topping the charts at the moment is Pierre Lambert, French driver in number 19, and just overtaking him is Viberg again. Now it's Letto gone quickest.
Well, good afternoon, Chris.
Well, John, you're back, mate. I missed you, I really did. Where have you been?
We've had a slight technical hitch there, and that's been solved by our tech gurus.
You mean more than just a Control-Alt-Delete?
That's all it took, wasn't it?
I don't know, I'm not sure. I thought I was waiting for me to bring out the big hammer to see if it would, and if it doesn't fix that, you then using the wrong size hammer. Anyway, what do I know about technical issues? So, thanks for joining us, mate. I was beginning to get bored talking to myself.
I prepared a little speech as well.
Really?
Good afternoon, a very warm welcome from Klaipėda in Lithuania.
Good afternoon, sir.
Today we're bringing you the UIM F4 qualifying.
We are?
And then at 4 o'clock it'll be the first of 2 F4 races, and then at 5 we're into UIM F2 qualifying.
Ooh. Well, it'll be dark by then.
And we're going to be ably assisted today by Laura, who will be interviewing the drivers, and I think you probably would have seen some of those earlier.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Laura works as a radio DJ for Power Hit Radio. You can download that app, and she's on every day from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Almost like us.
While I was in silence, I got myself a selfie with her.
Of course. I'm not expecting this.
Now back to the on-water action. We got Hilma Viberg topping the times, 59.951. Viberg is obviously the brother of Matilda, who you'll be seeing later in Formula 2.
And also we're going to be talking to tomorrow. She's going to come and join us in the rather warm commentary booth that we're currently in.
Indeed, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to hear the competitor's perspective. The Lithuanian television have got Garis Ryabko commentating on Formula 4 this afternoon.
And actually some of his protégés are actually out on the water, like Nida, who works at the Kaunas Centre, where obviously the hometown of Ryabko.
Yeah, she's fourth quickest. She found the conditions in free practice this morning pretty tricky. So, good time for her so far.
It's going to be incredibly tight out there. They're all very, very evenly matched.
And it's good to see Simon Young on the water. He had an accident this morning, but he set a time. He's 2.717 down, but he's out there.
Yeah, it's first season. He's certainly going to probably end up having a few spills.
Now, as you can see from these great pictures, the conditions are tricky, to say the least. Wind gusting.
I mean, that was Solvang's issue when I was grabbed a quick moment with him earlier. He basically said that it's going to be one of those ones where you're going to have to drive with your head, because obviously he currently leads the championship, and he said, look, I don't really want to go away from here with a bent boat. So he's going to say that if his aim is always going to be the podium, but what step of that podium it's going to be depends upon how rough it's going to get. And we're currently following the local Lithuanian driver.
Also coming from that academy in Kaunas. Sorry, Chris.
I was going to say, I worked it out. There actually is 4 Lithuanians. Well, there's going to be a total of about 10 drivers representing the Baltic state. I mean, it won't be long before the Baltic state becomes a real powerhouse for powerboat racing.
We were talking to Garis Ryabko about that the other day, weren't we? Just how popular and successful it's getting over here.
Yeah, I think that's really, really fascinating, because certainly with the very close proximity to Finland, you see a lot of the Lithuanians and a lot of the Latvians go over to compete in the Finnish National Championship, which talk to any of the Finnish drivers. I was talking also to Gino Leto, and he was saying that rough water really is where they go out and train the most, and he said he absolutely relishes rough water conditions. That's boat number 25.
Yeah, and Ryabko was saying that the weather isn't fair for testing until May. So
that's right, yeah.
Fairly long winter.
Oh, she's not happy. Something she's having to, she's climbed out, so she obviously has a bit of an issue. We'll try and find out what that is. Maybe it's the belts. Looks like she's trying to sort out her seat because she's out of the boat and she's looking at the straps. Okay, so let's have a see how...
This is Young, Simon Young. And
whoa, that's exactly the place he crashed out earlier.
a very similar situation, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He said he stuffed hard.
Yeah, he said he just couldn't. He took off on one wave and then he changed the trim just at the wrong time and he caught the wave on the landing. So yeah, he's certainly trying.
Now, you may be confused why we're racing on Friday and Saturday, whereas it would normally be Saturday and Sunday. And that's due to, Chris?
That's due to the fact that Klaipėda actually is a huge cruise liner port.
And that cruise liner comes in on Sunday.
In fact, actually, we had one for most of yesterday to look at, didn't we?
The Love Boat.
Oh, actually, for those viewers that can remember back that far. And when it left at 6 o'clock last night, it was quite an impressive piece of kit moving away from the dock.
Now, as a nice segue, the 10th quickest driver, Andre Solvang, is training to be a cruise ship skipper.
Yeah, yes, I heard. In fact, actually, if it had been 1 year later, he would have been fully qualified to get up on the bridge and drive the boat away.
He's running under the sponsorship of Team Sharjah, and he's team manager Scott Gilman. I think that's a young man that's going places.
Yeah.
He won the European F4 European Championship last week.
Totally dominated it all weekend.
Yeah.
Couldn't be touched.
I've watched the young Norwegian all the way through from GC15, GC30. He's quite a competitor.
Yeah. And a very charming young man, very, very, very presentable. You can understand why Mr. Gilman has snapped him up. Obviously, Scott recently took over, well, shall we say, Sharjah team recently took over Scott because obviously they, with the parting of the waves, and talking of parting of the waves, it looks like that local Lithuanian has decided to stuff the front of his boat in the water, and he's lost his right-hand pickle fork. Anyway, getting back to the Gilman thing.
That's, Chris, that's Florian, isn't it, from France, 21? Yeah. No, it's... Okay,
I'll let you pronounce that one.
Yeah.
Good luck on that one.
The printout.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. Just that's only details, John. So getting back to my with Mr. Gilman, yes, he's basically, now that he's working with the Sharjah team, or the Sharjah club, it won't be long before they reintroduce Formula 2 into the Sharjah World Championship, and obviously Mr. Solvang won't be long before he possibly does a potential step up into the Formula 2 team.
Exciting news. I understand that will be a new hull design and a new builder.
Yeah, the Sharjah guys are actually going to build their own boats from now on.
With a four-stroke 250 APX.
Which they're reputedly testing in a couple of weeks' time, and there we see the damage to the pickle fork. Now, one of the things that we were trying to work out, and it was a conversation going around the pits in Tonsberg, is why are they called pickle forks? And I must admit, it's sort of like I was going around trying to find out an answer as to why they were called pickle forks, because they don't look like a pickle and they certainly don't look like a fork. So I put in a couple of requests and I came up with the answer apparently, and I had to go and get it clarified by Mr. Capellini, who knew that a long time ago Molinari had decided to give them a name, and it was translated from the Italian pickle fork into the English into pickle fork. So because obviously when Molinari and Powerboat Racing first started in the circuit racing, they didn't have the points at the front. The boat the boat literally was like one of those classic races that we see.
Absolutely right, these circuits, and also some offshore boats. I raced an offshore boat without pickle forks. Catamaran, the Stapley catamarans were the same way. that sort of design had come out of the US in the 50s. The idea with the pickle forks is to let out trapped air in the tunnel.
But also, obviously, with all the with bearing in mind the safety regulations that were introduced, they now have to be deformable, because we've, you know, a few decades ago they were actually solid part of the deck itself, and if they'd come into contact with another boat, which invariably they did, then obviously that could produce a lot of damage. So the ruling was introduced by the UIM that they have to be deformable, just like the front nose has to be deformable as well. But they can be replaced.
Now, Chris, we've got Formula 2 qualifying coming up at 5 o'clock local time. In free practice this morning, we saw a young Finnish driver set the fastest time.
Yeah.
A Formula 4 racer, and he was quickest, Jarno Vermeulen, and then Agaris Ryabko was second, Rashid El-Kemzi third, Britain's Matt Pulverman was fourth, Giacomo Sacchi was fifth, Britain's Scott Curtis sixth, and then the second Abu Dhabi driver Al-Mansouri was seventh. So we have got a very exciting quali to look forward to at 5.
Interesting fact here, Jarno's boat, i.e. the guy that was racing at the first round in Mons, he actually won the first race in Mons, the first round of the World Championship this year.
Formula 4.
It's Formula 4, yes. And he decided to put the boat up for sale. So in between the first Grand Prix and the second Grand Prix, i.e. one day racing on the Thursday, one day racing on the Friday, he sold his boat to Niles Slakteris. And now then has moved up to the Formula 2. So Niles is actually the boat is actually making its World Championship debut here. Niles successfully raced it at the European Championships in Matra a couple of weeks ago, and he finished second place behind Solvang. His father, obviously everyone recognises the number 51, Niles' father used to race Formula 2. In fact, actually, we saw him racing just down the road from where you live, didn't we, John?
Indeed, indeed.
Mr. Uvis Slakteris. Uvis was going to become this weekend, but obviously the family is heavily involved in farming, and it's all hands on deck at the moment.
It's a busy time of the year, isn't it?
It's a huge time of the year. So Niles was not entirely sure whether his father was actually going to come this weekend, but it would be good to catch up with Uvis.
Now, Formula 4 qualifying is similar to Formula 2 with one exception. Q3, we see a shootout, whereas in Formula 2, it's a 15-minute session with unlimited laps. So we've got a shootout to look forward to of these Formula 4 boats coming up before we go into Q2.
And it's Wiberg currently topping the timesheet. And Nilda's back in the boat. She still doesn't look that happy, does she? She's not... oh, she's giving us a wave. She must have heard me. She must have heard me. And we're just looking at how that water is bouncing back off the dock. Oh, yeah, she's saying it's definitely a little bit rough, isn't it? Yep, we get the message. We get the message, but she's still got a smile on her face. And a big thumbs up from her boss, sat in the commentary booth next to us. That's Ed Garris. He's keeping a very close eye on his protege. And that's it. That session is now complete. I can see the checkered flag being raised. So now it's just a question of bringing the boats all back ashore, and then we'll lose the slowest.
So we have the top 15 boats in a 15-minute session for Q2.
So, are you going to tell me who've we lost?
Just waiting for the timing.
And there goes the timing man. He's just walked in front of us, and it would be nice to find out. Here we go. Right, so John, who have we lost?
Well, we will be losing just 2 drivers from Stainless and Paralis.
There you go. So we've lost 2.
And now we've got Laura to listen to an interview.
Turiu šalia savęs vieną žymiausią Lietuvos veterinarą. Taip galiu tave įvardinti, ne, Pauliau?
Taip.
Aš kiek žinau, kad tu pats augini jaunąją kartą šito būtent sporto.
Taip, turiu 2 vaikus ir jau kelinti metai mes irgi sportuojame.
Kaip jūsų susidomėjimas prasidėjo būtent šituo sportu?
Turbūt pati pradžia buvo su Karoliu, iš senų laikų esame pažįstami ir tiesiog pamačiau, kad visa pradžia prasideda. Ir taip mes įsitraukėme ir dabar negalim išsitraukti jau.
Ir kiek metų vaikai irgi sportuoja?
Berods 5 kokie. Jo, 4-5 metų.
Dabar atvirai pasakyk, šitas renginys įdomiau yra tau pačiam ar tavo vaikam?
Aš pasakysiu atvirai, šitas renginys man yra šiek tiek ramiau. Mes praeitą savaitgalį irgi buvom Baltijos šalių čempionate, tarp kitko užėmėm 3 vietą. Čia yra šiek tiek ramiau, nes pats viduje mažiau galbūt to adrenalino turiu, nes čia ne tik tais tie, kurie vandenyje jaučia didelį stresą ir artimieji tie, kurie yra ant kranto.
Kaip vertini šiaip visą aplinką šitą formulių patį miestelį?
Kadangi stebiu visas varžybas, kurios vyksta pasaulyje, čia yra numeris 1. Ta prasme, visas įrengimas, infrastruktūra, tai yra kažkas tokio. Tai didelė garbė yra organizatoriam.
Ir tavo šios dienos favoritai?
Žinoma, lietuviai. Edgaras Repko, Nida, Marcinkus ir dar Dagilis yra. Tai ir Paulius, žinoma.
Ačiū, Pauliau, ir pasimėgaukit šio nuostabių renginio.
Ačiū ir jum. Gero renginio.
And there we see the damage done. So obviously he's now going to be hauled out. Although he actually qualified in 13th place, so whether they can actually get the boat out, get the pickle fork on again and allow him back out. How quickly can his team work on that boat? Otherwise, he will be qualifying in 15th place.
So that Q1 session saw Viberg top the times with Timo Leto second. Vuk was third and then Nida there was fourth.
Well, as I said, Leto is definitely one of those ones to watch. He loves the rough conditions, he said.
And we're going to have a little highlights package, couple of minutes of Q1.
So hopefully you enjoyed that nice little highlight package. Everybody managed to keep their boat up the right way, which is always a good sign. Now we're just waiting to see whether we can actually, as you can see, they've got the spare pickle fork on the deck there, and it's just going to be a question of whether they can actually screw it on and let him go out and qualify. Otherwise, unfortunately, he will be starting from 15th on the grid. He's hauling himself out. And just to see whether they can actually attach it or whether it actually needs a little bit more repair, and they'll have to try and haul it out of the water, so he'll drop from his current 13th place down to 15th as they're making their way back out onto the water. Okay. And the sun's come out at long last. When we walked to the pits this morning, we actually came through an absolute torrential rain here. Not to give too many forecasts. So they're back out on the water, and we've got the drones up in the air chasing these guys around. As you can see, it's a very, very, very wide stretch of the docks that we're using here. And on the opposite side of the bank there, it's actually an island. Very, very popular with tourists, and gets full up with campers. And I understand, or no, not that I've been there myself, it's actually a naturist reserve down there as well, naturist beach. So if you want to go over there and shed your clothes, you quite can.
It's a fascinating spit, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed. I was just saying that, John, if you want to disrobe and swim across there, you're quite welcome to join everybody on the beach.
Well, you had the pleasure of staying over there last year, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yes, in the marina complex there. It was lovely. Yeah. Yeah, we've heard now the confirmation from the pontoon that it looks like number 21 won't be joining us in for qualifying, so he will start tomorrow, or sorry, later on today in 15th place. There's just,
if he can repair that.
Well, I think it looks like it is repairable from what I can see. They'll patch it up, and you'd be amazed at what they can do with race tape. And as we see, Noel Vatanen getting his boat ready in the water now. He's definitely one of the ones that we're going to be keeping an eye on, certainly in the race. Vatanen currently equal second in the World Championship with Jean-Baptiste Thomas. Okay, it was a bit of an onboard. Give you some sort of an idea of what the actual conditions are like. As you can see, coming down the with the dock wall where we are currently based. Going past the craning in area into coming up into the first turn, where we've seen so many trip up earlier this morning. We safely navigated the first turn, heading down to turn 2A. We're not going anywhere near the right-hander. Obviously, it's going to be the full course for when the Formula 2s come out later on this afternoon. And that was just a little clip of how much fun they're having out there this afternoon.
Hello, Gintarelis.
Hello.
We saw that you had some accident in the water. Could you tell us, please, what happened?
Yeah, I just jumped over the wave and crashed in another wave, so I don't know. Maybe we will fix it for the race.
Do you think you'll be available to continue your race?
Yeah, qualifying we're skipping now, and we will focus on the race now, and I think we will manage it to make it.
But it's not too hard to fix the boat right now, yeah?
No, I don't think so. We will do our best to go to the race.
And you're still in the mood, right?
Almost.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Well, that was Gintaras, and it's looking okay for him. Now, I've upgraded Chris Davies, and Garis Ryabko joins us this afternoon. Thanks for sparing a couple of minutes, Garis.
Hello guys, hi.
Now, you've been commentating Lithuanian on the Formula 4 this afternoon.
Yeah, this is my first time when I'm commentator, so so a little bit the stress, you know, I'm feeling the stress, but I think everything will be okay.
And then you've got a little bit of work to do at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, it's waiting a very big job for me in the qualification, and the practice was not so bad. I think I was in the second position. It was a good performance from my side, but for sure I feel a little bit pressure because I'm racing in Lithuania, so I need to get a good result here.
Now, topping the times this morning was Jarno from Finland.
Yeah.
New to Formula 2. Were you surprised with that?
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I was surprised in the last race 2 weekends ago in Norway, when he finished after me in the 5th position. So yes, he's a very fast driver, and he deserved it, and to be the Formula 4 world champion. We can see that he will be fast also in Formula 2.
Now, speaking of fast, you had 3 quick DACs behind you: Rashid Al-Kemzi, Matt Porfram, and Giacomo Sacchi.
Yeah, you can see top 3 guys now in the top, so I think those 3 guys will be competitors in the next races in the world the world championship. So yeah, there is no more surprise. Giacomo also was very fast, so Scott Curtis, Mansour. So only surprise was Jarno Vilman.
Yeah, impressive. And as Chris was saying earlier, Jarno competed in the first round of Formula 4 this season.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Well, thank you very much, Garis, for sparing a few moments with us.
Thank you, bye.
What a nice guy. Even better when he came and met us at the airport, John.
Indeed, our taxi driver.
Yeah.
All week.
Okay, and as I thought, the accident down at turn 1. We're just trying to work out.
It's the Gulf-sponsored boat.
It's going to be the French driver then. It looks like to me, if that is the case, it could be, and I'm only hazarding a guess here, that...
Got 2 divers gone in.
He's out safely.
Fine.
Yeah, and it looks like Lucas Boyard, number 8. Yeah, that's Lucas Boyard. That is such a shame. He's been having a really good season so far. Strange.
Cracking pictures here of this rescue. What did that take? 12 seconds?
Yeah, less than that. Less than that. The Hungarian lads are really, really quick on the scene. But fortunately, Lucas managed to get out of the boat unaided, which is always a good sign. And depending on how much damage, otherwise the guys are going to be... He'll be off for a medical check. He has to be thoroughly checked before he can take part in any further racing. Okay,
Let's have a look, see what happened. Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
That was naughty.
Yeah.
That's what we've been saying about these gusts of wind. They pick up here. He certainly was taken like a sail.
Really didn't have much of a chance to save that.
Good afternoon to Frode Sandstad in Norway, who organised the last F2 race in Tonsberg.
Is he listening?
He is indeed, and he just tries to phone me. That's normally my mum's job.
That's a shame for Lucas. Yeah, actually, Lucas, he won at my favourite venue back in 2015, which is the Rouen 24-hour race. He's one of those ones that really started racing Formula 4. He said that actually Rouen isn't really much of a... He can't say that if you've raced in Rouen, there he is, he's jumping out of the boat. Yep, happy days. Off to see the doctor, just to make sure that everything's fine. We should be getting racing back underway fairly soon. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Hi, we saw you had some accident in the water. Why did you crash?
I flipped. I think there was just too much, and the water is very, very rough. So it's a mistake from me. I'm still, but I'm okay. I hope the boat is okay too, and so hopefully we can take the departure of the race.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Well, Laura's doing her job this afternoon. She's getting these drivers hot off the press.
Yeah. No, haven't really seen anybody take off there before. Normally it's skip, skip, and over they go.
Well, the one thing we can guarantee when we're working in Lithuania is always to get the best pictures from these guys. They really are top draw, aren't they?
They don't miss much. Oh, and I think she's thoroughly enjoying her ice cream. As they're mingling around, the yellow flag is still up, and we're just waiting to see.
I was just thinking, she wants to hide that from Matthew Portman, that ice cream.
That ice cream, yeah. He loves his sweets. Yep, the yellow flag is still up. Just want to make sure that the boat is turned over, and I can see them dragging it away. Yes, it doesn't look too damaged from what we can see. Obviously, once again, the engine has taken a right soaking. That's going to be a bit of a late night for the boys from the French team. But they're used to that. All of those guys, all of those mechanics are well versed in fixing boats that have come to a sticky end, especially when a lot of them have been working on boats when they've raced in Rouen. So we're just going to attach the boat to one of the jet skis, and then the jet skis will haul it back to the crane. And then obviously it's just a chance to make sure that they take out all of the water out of the sponsons before they haul it out. And away we go. Ah, Mr. Solvang. Playing a waiting game. I imagine that he will be desperate trying to get into the top 6. Getting the straps straight on the boat, ready so it comes straight into the crane. Good to go and haul it out. The boat itself is actually a Lomberg. It's a brand new hull to Lucas this year, so maybe obviously he's still getting used to it. So how close are we to we've still got we're only 2 minutes, well, almost 3 minutes in is left or into this qualifying session.
Now 3 minutes in with a 15-minute session. Sjöström quickest, Fuchs second, Wiberg third.
Yeah, Sjöström, another driver, but the brand new hull. Okay, brand new. He had it a couple of years ago, built for him by Mr. Molgaard.
And just to remind you, it'll be the fastest 6 boats to go through the Q3 to that shootout.
Merry bunch of Formula 2 spectators there, isn't it, all taking it in?
Brits in the Lithuanian sun.
It's an interesting selection of drivers not currently in the top 6. You would think that Jean-Baptiste Thomas would be moving up. And also Niall Vatanen, he's going to have to jump up 4 places to qualify for the final. And even Solvang in 8th place. He's going to be looking at trying to get 2 places higher. Otherwise, we could have a very interesting grid for later on today. As we follow Vatanen around. Yeah, another driver that is campaigning the Lomberg. Here we go. Jason Brewer getting stuck in again. Nope.
Jason Brewer, the pit marshal.
Going round again. Making sure that boat doesn't take on too much more water, otherwise it's going to be an absolute nightmare to try and haul it out.
Well, we're back underway. We're back under green.
We are indeed. Who's going to take advantage of that slightly calmer water? When they were hauling the boat back, it actually gave the water a chance to flatten out.
Well, that ferry there is called Nida. Is that a sign we're going to see Nida in the top 6? Currently, she just sits outside in 7th.
And this is who we were on board earlier with. This time, we're chasing them with a drone.
It's our solo Spanish entrance.
Oh.
And 2 other Spanish drivers and racers, Hector and Ika, are both here. Jackie Mosaki.
As we keep an eye on Mr. Solvang Jr., see whether he can actually improve on his time.
Those of you not familiar, Sharjah is a state in the UAE. We have Formula 1 F1 H2O racing every December.
Ooh, Vatanen's was getting a little bit of air there. Instead of the distinctive Lomberg nose there. In fact, it won't be long before we see a Lomberg. It won't be long. Here we go again. So just catching the air. Nicely held, sir.
Certainly gives you an idea of the wind direction, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. As I was saying, it won't be long before we actually see Lomberg racing in Formula 2.
Nearly 7 minutes into this session, 7 of 15.
Solvang still currently down in 8th. That's a surprise.
Lambert just picks in a quicker one to go into 6th. Pierre Lambert from France.
And Solvang's made a move.
Drops him into fourth.
Breathe a sigh of relief. So Källström is still out in front.
The one thing Klaipėda does do is show us a lot of propellers. I remember Formula 2 last year.
Yeah.
Anyone was wondering what Solvang's running, you can see it there.
That's a lot of the drivers who are running new boats this weekend saying it's a bit of a lottery when it comes to a circuit like this and propellers. It's more of a speed circuit. It's more of an oval type racing circuit compared to certainly where we were racing Formula 2 last of all, which is more of an acceleration circuit, more of a point and squirt, I would have said.
So two Swedes topping the times, Källström and Wiberg. As we said earlier, we'll be seeing Hilma's sister Matilda in the UIM F2 qualifying. And she joins us in the booth tomorrow for the Formula 4. Looking forward to chatting to her.
Maybe Mulgard is the boat to have this weekend. As we see Källström coming back in. And there we see Niels Slagdrisk.
Yep, that 51 number, same as his father raced.
In 8th, he's going to be looking to push up for 2 places to get into the top 6 so that we can see him in the shootout. Bouncing his way down the back straight there. Certainly getting to grips with that new hull. He did say that when he came back in from free practice, he said that this was probably some of the roughest conditions that he's ever raced in. Really? I think what the drivers were most concerned about was the unpredictability of the waves.
Yeah.
Can he improve his time?
Leader, currently in 9th position. He's going to have to do something special to get into this top 6.
Yeah, it looks like she backed off on this one. Well, maybe not. following her down the back straight now.
And Slakteris just pops in a quick one. He puts him in the second position. So Sjöström, Slakteris, Wiberg, Fuchs, Solvang.
Oh, Robert Mings seems like he's having a bit of an issue there. That's not quite where you want to park up. Well, Nida took a flyer there. My goodness me. All of a sudden, everyone was getting rather excited. Definitely getting gusty conditions out there at the moment.
Well, she's driving quick, and it put her into 6th place, which would be good enough for the shootout. So she's found the speed there in those tricky conditions.
Certainly has. I think it took a few people's breaths away as well, by the sounds of it.
Incredible, really. 0.792. Fuchs 0.793.
The Hungarian will be back out.
He's got a minute left now. Sjöström looks safe. You'd probably say Solvang was safe. Slakteris.
Is Wiberg safe as well? Depends where the...
Fuchs would be the only challenger to that top 6 now.
I'm really surprised about Leto. We're on his boat at the moment. See what... Actually, no, we're on. See if he comes across. And he's coming across. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what Leto's got. We're going to follow him round. We're going to track him round. He's another one of Philip Rom's.
And that is it.
Ooh.
So just checked there with Leto. So he goes past the timing 10.
As we see, the Mad Croc sponsors, he's running under the colours of running under the colours of Philip Rom's. Just waiting for the results now. Has Leto made it in? And there's Nida. And on the radio there, some of you might actually recognize that gentleman there. That's Rudolf Maholdnitz. And now we're going to get the results. John, over to you.
Okay, so Leto didn't manage to get into the top 6. Sjöström was quickest from Solvang, Slakteris, Pierre Lambert, Hilma Wiberg, and Nida in 6th place. So
wow,
an excellent session, great driving in those conditions. And of course now we've got the shootout. which is going to be on.
We're just going to have a look at some of the highlights from Q2. That wind is definitely picking up.
Wow.
Nida just came past our booth here, the biggest smile on her face going. I bet she thoroughly enjoyed it out there.
But when she passed us, she was actually in the water, wasn't she, that time?
I think she was, which is, you know, rare for her, and that's certainly in that session.
She positively flew round in that quick lap to put her into sixth, tended through to the shootout.
Oh, and then we see a very disappointed Fuchs there. Handle just missed out. Yeah, very busy aquabike guys. As you can see, Jean-Baptiste's boat being hauled out there.
Now, it is interesting that Nida's other sport is pole vaulting. I think she sort of mixed the sports there, didn't she? She's also a tennis player.
They all play tennis here.
She's currently studying at university.
I know, that's why she had to miss the first round. Can you imagine how she would have got on in Mons?
Yeah.
Bet she would have loved it there. As we see more people coming in, getting a grandstand, a moving grandstand view from the ferry over to the island. And that's not really me, John. My body double.
It's good to see Uncle Albert working, isn't it? That's one of the VIP areas.
Fortunately, keeping the sun off them. And I bet you could have done with that this morning when you were walking to the pits, couldn't you, John?
Yeah. Funny, yeah, it was pouring with rain, wasn't it? Yeah.
And who is Lara gonna catch a quick word with? I can see her waiting down, microphone poised on the pontoon there. This is a very, very, very busy shipping channel, and to make sure that everything is run to time.
So there's Leto's boat being pulled out.
Surprised. I am surprised at that one. I would have thought, you know, rough weather normally is his sort of ideal track. And there's Young taking on a lot of water. It probably is quite warm in those cockpits today, even in the Formula 4s. I would have thought it was very, very warm temperature. So, whittled down to our final 6 for the shootout.
And there is our pit area.
Oh, it's Mings being rescued, obviously. I could see his boat earlier. It was moving definitely towards the dock wall. It wasn't, obviously he'd had a mechanical, maybe he'd run out of fuel. We'll pop down into his tent and have a quick chat with him after this final qualifying session's finished. As they're lining up now, ready for the very, very happy Nida. Someone that was commentating earlier, Mr. Ryabko, he's probably going to be extremely happy with his protege finishing in the top 6. That's really, really good to see. How much backing that he's giving all his local Lithuanian drivers, the youngsters, coming through the ranks. The drone was following in. There's the Latvian driver, Mings. So we'll catch up with him a bit later to find out what the problem was. Hopefully nothing too bad, that he can actually make the Grand Prix. And there's our rescue team, who've been quite busy this afternoon. The lads from Hungary.
Well, I've upgraded Chris Davies again, and it's a bit of a treat. I've got Guido Cappellini with me. Guido, are you looking forward to this weekend?
It's here for my job, and I hope won't have one good result.
Interesting.
The perfect is like result of Norway, but it's not easy.
Sure. Now, it was an interesting free practice in Formula 2 this morning. Were you surprised with the driver that topped the team, topped the times?
No, it's not surprised, because the people who are fast is young and it's new, but I see this potential also in Norway.
You saw it, did you?
Yes, and have two different boats, but the same results.
Yeah, sure.
The reason is okay. Okay, the driver is good.
Now, it's an interesting championship. Your driver, Rashid Al-Kemsi's leading, with Ryabko second and Britain's Matt Porferman third. I just saw you talking to Porferman.
I look at the performance in the first race in Brindisi. It's one very good driver, especially in this type of race, and I hope it's one potential world champion.
And obviously for you, he's driving one of your boats, isn't he? A DHC.
Fortunately,
yeah.
Fortunately, yes.
Good. Well, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
We'll get back to the Formula 4. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Always good to catch up with Guido. Although he had a bit of a horrendous journey here. He actually missed 2 flights, so not quite the best preparation for the weekend as far as Team Abu Dhabi were concerned. But eventually he got in late last night and pretty much hit the ground running. Everything was such a professional team that they've got here. You can just literally walk in and everything is laid out ready for him to get his drivers up and running again. Hopefully it won't be long before we see Team Abu Dhabi Formula 4 drivers back in the fold. Unfortunately, one of them had a really bad accident in Mons. One of those ones where, unfortunately, there were so many boats on the water that Al-Rafidi ended up in hospital, but he was fine. Right, almost time now to see our top 6 in action. And the first boat is out on the water. And we're going to go over to an interview with the basketball player. No, maybe we're not. I'm not entirely sure because Nida's out on the course at the moment, so I'm not entirely sure whether we're going to actually... Yeah. So we're watching Nida out on the course. She's got 2 laps to see where she's going to start later on this afternoon. So she comes past the guys next to us in timing.
Q3 shootout. It's debatable whether this is the better way of settling the quali than the way Formula 2 do it, which is unlimited laps over 15 minutes. Chris?
Personally, I think this is much better. I think it's a case of a lot of the drivers out there saying, oh, hello, she's definitely getting a little air underneath there today. But a lot of the drivers say that there is always a risk that the wind might pick up before the start of the session, or it could die down at the end of the session. But then bear in mind that the weather is not really going to change much if there are all 6 boats out on the water. Okay, so you could say that the water roughs up a little bit, or as we saw in Norway, some of the teams actually doing a little bit of tactical, how can we say this? Putting their boats out on the water to just make sure that everybody else gets a bit of a rough time if they're posting a fast lap. But the thing is that now, everything's changed in qualifying for Formula 2. because what they've done for the first time I've seen for a long time, as Nida comes past us, you can see she's...
And we could see her Lithuanian Roma propeller there. She was clean out of the water. She came past us.
So I was going to continue saying in Formula 2, they've now insisted that the drivers do not do slow laps on the course. If you're having a break from putting a fast qualifying lap in, you go to the side of the course. In fact, actually, you miss out the right-hander. So we'll see a bit later on when we come to qualifying in Formula 2 just how successful that works. And also they did. Oh, she spun out.
That boy.
Oh.
So her lap there of just over a minute, 0.46, will stand and be her quickest lap.
I think she will be overjoyed at being in the top 6. It's a great start to her weekend. Okay, as she comes past, let's catch her again. She's coming into that turn. Yep. Well, on a positive note, she kept it the right way up. And we kind of catch her from a different angle.
That looked like a handbrake turn, didn't it?
I think she was just doing donuts to entertain the crowd, but she's actually got into the top 6.
And Pierre Lambert from France next up.
Let's see how many donuts he can do. It's so deceptively flat there, isn't it? It just looks almost like mill pond-like. Coming past timing for the first time. So Lambert's lap is underway. Safely around turn 1, up to turn 2A. Taking it nice wide turn there. Kept the power right on. This looks like a good lap coming up here. He's got it beautifully trimmed. Now let's see if he can get around this. Yes, he's taking it once again. His nice wide turn. Final turn before he comes past the timing control again.
He's gone past the timing team, and there says his time, 58.819.
Whether that's quick enough, I think we could see times in around about the 56, 57 mark. I think we'll take pole today. Let's see if he can improve it on his second lap. 2 bites at the cherry here.
After quali, next up is the F4 race. And this is round 2 of the 2024 UIM F4 World Championship. But obviously this would be the 3rd race of the season, and then the 4th race is tomorrow.
Here he comes again.
And that's coming up at 1600 local time, which is 1500 CET and 1400 British Summer Time.
Has he improved it? Has he improved this time?
So it's looking like Lambert's lap was that 58.560. And Wiberg. Weber getting plenty of air here and there.
And this is just before he even gets timed.
And again,
coming round to the start-finish line. Picks him up from the drone as he's winding it up. Coming round, coming past the start-finish line. Here he comes, straight past us. He's getting a little bit of air under the tunnel again.
see Wiberg's time pop up.
Perhaps this is his first lap now. And down the back straight again. This is where we saw him earlier get some air under the tunnel, and he was coming around before he starts his lap. Oh, he's getting a little bit high there again. Oh, he's enjoying this one. Now, can he get around the turn? Yes, he can. He kept the power on. Right, and he's just literally around the last turn, and he comes back down past, heading towards us, and timing control. Here it comes, and let's see what he's posted.
58.107. Half a second quicker than Lambert.
Now, can he push on again and improve his own time? Much tighter on that turn. Let's see where he ends up this time round. See if he gets as much air as he did last time. No, he's actually, it's a lot better. He's got it more trimmed this time round. Oh, as he pops out there. Oh, it's going to cost him a few seconds. Right, so it's 58.1 to beat. See if he can actually do it. Can he squeeze? 57.2. Well done. I knew it was going to be those 57s. 57.56 is going to be the time.
1.320 seconds quicker than Lambert.
Down that back straight. Down that back straight is where he certainly made up his time on the. This is. I think that was him going round for his first lap.
Yep. That was when, during that session, we were looking at it from the drone, and you couldn't quite see how much he was out the water. I could see out the window.
Yeah, I could see out the window that's first lap, that first qualifying lap that's where he was struggling.
Look at this.
Good lad for keeping it on the deck. But then obviously he sorted it out for his second one and was posted a much faster time. We could tell, looking out the window here, that was a slightly better controlled, more controlled second qualifying lap. Right, to see how the young Latvian gets on now. We know it's a quick boat. We've seen him do some decent times in it. Obviously second in the European Championships earlier this month. So let's see what Mr. Slatteris can do.
He certainly looked, as he passed us by the commentary booth, certainly looked the best of what we've seen.
Let's see if we can get a better idea down the back straight. Down the back straight, he's much, yes, very, very neat, very tidy. Ooh. Coming into that turn, I think he caught a little bit of a breeze there.
I think the drone did as well, by the looks of it.
Just shows how tricky these conditions are this afternoon. As he's coming round again the last turn before he comes past us for the start-finish line. And see how close he can get to Wiberg's time. 2 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise. Maybe that was where he
lost that
caught
time
on,
at the same time as the drone.
Nearly got,
yeah,
nearly joined in with the drone, I think. No, I think he's, no, I get the feeling that he's not quite as good, as quick as coming into that turn. Let's see what he does this time. Much neater around it this time. Coming into the last turn, coming into the last corner. See if there's any improvement. See if we can find those extra couple of seconds. Oh, there! My goodness me!
Managed it.
Managed it, didn't he? Just
57.158, our quickest time of this Q3 session so far. Zlakteris leads from Wiberg, Lambert, and then Nieder.
Well, let's see what Mr. Solvang can do. He's back out on the water there.
This is
amazing lap by now. Yeah, amazing lap by
Norwegian driver who won the UIM F4 European Championship last weekend. He's flying that.
Getting some air on his warm-up. Coming around just past the timing for the first time. That was a cracking lap by Zlakteris. Here comes Mr. Solvang past the timing. In the straight, here he comes.
Looking mighty quick as he passed us there.
Taking a little bit of a bounce off the dock wall there, though. Oh, just get the exposure right, and if we go eyeballs and we now see where he's going.
Do you know something about exposures and cameras?
Give him the light up. Got a proper job now. Oh! They're struggling. I don't think this is quick. Oh, I know. Right, so heading down the back straight, coming down to the last turn before he comes past us again. Oh, hello. No. Just having a lovely coffee though. Oh, yes. 56, what do we think? Yes, 56, it'd be
56.077. You said we'd see a 56.
Yep, I thought it was going to be a 56 course.
And that is 1 second quicker than Zlakteris. And nearly 4 seconds quicker than Nieder.
Now, if I was his radio man, I think I'd be bringing him in.
Yep.
I'd be saying, calm down, you're on pole. Well, unless Shellstrom can change all of that. Some lovely replays of Solvang there. So, it's all up to William Shellstrom now. Let's see what he's capable of.
No pressure.
Can he catch Solvang? William's currently 7th in the World Championship. pushing. He's certainly pushing. Coming down to this tricky one. Where we saw Neil. Ooh. Where we saw Nida.
Okay, we've had a change now on the timing because this qualifying session is running late. They are going to take a break after Formula 4 qualifying, and then next up at 1700 local time will be the Formula 2 qualifying. Once we've settled Formula 2, we then have the Formula 4 race straight afterwards.
And it doesn't look like Kjellström will be troubling Solvang, I don't think. No, it's pole position Solvang.
And there it is. The Norwegian takes the pole with a 56.077. Secteris second, and Wiberg was third.
Well, it sounds like we've got a bit of an hour break now then, John.
Indeed. So that wraps up Formula 4 quali, and we will be back on air about 10 to 5 this afternoon local time, which in Central Europe is 4 o'clock, and in Britain at 3.
Here come the results for that shootout. Solvang on pole. He will be so made up. Slakteris, followed by Wiberg, followed by Kjellström, Lambert, and then a little local heroine. Yep, so thoroughly enjoyable.
It was very good. I think that's probably the best footage we've seen of Formula 4 racing in many a year, isn't it?
Yeah, and also, really, it was, okay, some of these guys are relatively new, especially there, Mr. Poleman himself. He'll be very, very pleased. It's just going to be a question of how he starts when we come to the race.
Yep, and we're going to just run some Formula 4 highlights now, and we'll be back at 5 o'clock. Look forward to speaking to you then.
the rock.